Does IUL work? In this series, our goal is to give you some examples and illustrations that will prove, is IUL really worth it? I'm Doug Andrew, and this is my son, Emron Andrew. He's one of the top IUL specialists in America, also the co-author with me and my other son, Aaron, of two books, but the most recent best-selling book is The Laser Fund. And stay with us to the end of this episode. I want to gift you a free copy of that book if you don't already have one. But in this particular episode, our goal is to show you examples of IUL policies. And if you're not familiar with what IUL is, that's Indexed Universal Life. When an Indexed Universal Life contract is structured correctly and funded properly, it is deemed what I call a laser fund. Laser is an acronym that stands for Liquid Asset Safely Earning Returns. So as a financial strategist and retirement planning specialist now for nearly 5 decades, it's my preferred financial vehicle that allows people to accumulate their money tax-free and then be able to access that money income tax-free. And when they finally die, anything in there blossoms and transfers income tax-free. And so a lot of times when people hear about it, they go, wow, this sounds too good to be true. Could you show me an illustration of actually how somebody has done this, maybe 10 years down the road, what actually has happened instead of this hypothetical illustration? So we're about to show you an actual illustration where Emron came across a client that had an underperforming, actually non-performing whole life policy. And he was able to do a tax-free 1035 exchange from the cash value in the whole life policy over into an indexed universal life policy. You're going to be blown away with how this has far outperformed the illustration. So get ready. Emron, take it away. Show them how well this is performed, and then I'll come back in and make sure you get a free copy of our most recent best-selling book, The Laser Fund.
Well, I'm excited to be with you and excited to be able to take you deeper into the actual results of the IUL Laser Fund. And like my dad said, this particular client that we're going to go to look at here, we actually put this policy in force in the first quarter of 2009. We're looking at about 13 years. We're 13 years into this life insurance policy. And so we want to see the results. And all I want to do is I want to start by looking at the actual results. So we're going to go, where are we at today? So as we look at it here, we're going to have a death benefit here of about $300,000. Okay, so we've got a death benefit here right there of $300,000 is where it's currently at. That's the net death benefit because this client has actually already started accessing. They've accessed some tax-free money out of this policy. Down here, you can kind of look at that. We've got about $32,000. So they've accessed a little over $32,000 is the current total balance on his policy loans of what he has taken out of his insurance policy and what that balance is at. But if we look here, we've got $110,000. So let me kind of go here. We've got $110,000 of current accumulation value. So that is right here. This $110,000 represents the account value that he gets to earn interest on. So whenever he gets credit interest, and you can see over here, he's been averaging 12.88. So when we're averaging 12.88%, he's averaging 12.88 on the $110,000, even though he's already taken out $32,000 of that money. So that's one of the beautiful aspects of the IUL is that I can keep on earning interest on my money even after I've taken it out. So I'll keep on earning interest on that full 110. And like I said, we've been averaging 12.88% on this for the last 13 years. Net that he has access to is his surrender value down here, which represents that $77,000. So he has $77,000. This is 13 years into the policy. And he originally funded this, again, with a 1035 exchange of just under $50,000. And you can see we've got a good diversification in here. He's had some money in the fixed account at times. We don't have any in the fixed account currently right now. Obviously, the loan account right here has got $32,000 in it. The one-year indexed account, we've got, it has averaged 7.98%. We don't have anything in that one right now. But we've got some in the high cap. 77,000 is where most of the money is between the high cap and the loan account. We've had money in the 1-year no cap before as well. And overall, again, that's what gives us that 12.88% average. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the policy was projected. So this is what we've done. And we're at 110, a net of 77,000. Let's go back and look and see what we had projected 13 years ago. So if we look at this 13 years ago and we pull into this, we're going to go in and we can see right here is where we look at. We've got the 1035 from the underperforming whole life policy right here at, again, $47,996. Now that whole life policy already had an $11,000 loan sitting on it. So not only that, was the whole life policy was underperforming, but it was again dragged down because of this loan, and he was paying more like 8% on this loan, 6 to 8% on the loan, or only earning 4 or 5% on the net of $36,000 here. So he was losing money due to this loan rather than making money. And over inside the IUL, we're now transitioning over to where he can either get a zero cost loan or he can even get a participating loan where he can make money on this. So as we zoom in on this, what we want to see here as well is looking at what the cash value was projected to be. So if we go here, this is the accumulation value right here. Okay, so that's the projected accumulation value, and I'm going to go down to where we're supposed to be right here in year 13, and we're also going to look at and we'll zoom in on that a little bit. Okay, so on this accumulation value, the year one, he puts the money in, he'd have $34,000 over the years. It was going to grow. It actually dipped down just a little bit, and then it would jump back up with some interest here. That was with some of the 5-year interesting crediting strategies that we have available inside of this particular IUL, is that we can actually defer the interest till the 5th year, and then we can get a big bump. So we go from $33,000 up to $45,000, which we obviously took advantage of and utilized inside this policy. But as we continue to go through here, you'd have another bump here in year 10, $63,000 right here. And he would have about $63,000 here in year 13. Even after his 5-year bump, if we scroll that up just a little bit, he would have $94,000. So even after he gets his 5-year bump in another 2 years, he was projected to have $94,000. Now, if you remember, right here in this year right here, we're already in this year and we have $110,000. So we're obviously outperforming this. We're outperforming this by 40, 50, almost $50,000, but $47,000. We're ahead of schedule. We're ahead of schedule, $47,000. Not quite double, but dang close to double, outperforming this policy over here. And my surrender value, I'm even outperforming it with my surrender value. My surrender value right here is projected is at $77,000. Okay, so even with the loan being taken out here, even if over here we would try to be paying back the loan or have it existing right here. But over here, I'd have $77,000 on this side of the ledger right here as well. So we're outperforming it not only with the $110,000, but I'm also outperforming it even with the net surrender value with a larger loan. Again, my loan is up at $32,000 because this client did take out an additional $20,000 during these last 13 years. They've needed it for whatever purposes it is, and they've been able to access that $20,000 tax-free. But this really shows the power and the potential of a maximum funded IUL. And we say that again because, in order to get these results, whenever you're looking at a strategy that we talk about in the laser fund, it's you've got to follow the strategy. If you step outside of the strategy, you may not see these kind of results. But if you want to have an opportunity to see these kind of results, you follow the strategy. You follow it to the T. And then you set yourself up to have the opportunity to see these kind of results. And this is a beautiful one right here to be able to get in and see an account where we go in and we were only expected to have $63,000. We now have $110,000 with $77,000 net, averaging 12.88%. Again, we were only projecting back 13 years ago, averaging between 8 to 9%, right? We were looking at 7, 8, 9%. We're outperforming that up at 12.88%, making it a big difference for this client and his family as they continue to work towards accumulating the money and being able to access this for supplemental retirement income needs or any other needs that they stand in need of.
Well, thank you, Emron. If that didn't blow you away, so let me understand. This client had this underperforming whole life policy that probably would have crashed and burned sooner than later.
Absolutely, especially with him taking out more money. If he would have continued to take out more loans, absolutely.
So the net after the loan balance on the whole life policy was only 30-something thousand, correct?
On the existing policy, we have a current loan of $32,000.
Correct. But the whole life policy had a loan on it. So the net 1035 exchange, if you subtract the loan balance, was only in the 30,000. And then he goes and takes out another 20,000. So really the net that came over from the whole life policy, if you want to look at it that way, is only about 12 grand. And he has 77,000 in here after subtracting all of the old loan and the new loan, right?
Yeah, so he would have transferred a net of about 33,000, right? About 30,000.
Right. But then he took out another $20,000 loan.
Correct.
So I'm just saying,
yes,
as far as money in versus what he's pulled out, he's only put in a net maybe of about 12 grand, and he's got 77,000 now net out of this policy, earning 12.88%. So this is another example where, whoa, he's got to be super grateful that he met you and was able to perform far better with an IUL over the whole life policy.
Oh, absolutely. We meet every year, and I mean, we thank each other up and down. He's one of my dear friends now, and absolutely, he is more than him and his wife are more than thrilled with the results they've been able to get over the last 13 years.
So if this is intriguing you, I would recommend that you study this book. The Laser Fund is flying off of our warehouse shelves. To claim your free copy, simply go to laserfund, laserfund.com, or click on the link below. You contribute a nominal amount towards the shipping and handling. I'll cover the rest of that. I'll pay for the book and fire out a hard copy to you. It's 300 pages, charts, graphs, explanations on this side. If you learn more by stories, if you're a right brain learner, you flip it over to this side and there's 62 actual client stories of how a properly structured IUL policy can be like a financial Swiss Army knife. You can use it for all kinds of financial goals as a dream solution. So this is about you and your brighter future. Claim your free copy, and while you're in there, there's options there to listen and learn, watch and learn. You can even set up a time to talk to an IUL specialist to see illustrations of how this can perform in your particular set of circumstances.